got Bynum starting. Okay.
The Pacers look to take charge. We're going to bring it to you here from Indianapolis, Indiana. So for the Celtics, their last game, a loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And it's going to be the Pacers off the tip. All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. On the court right now for the Celtics. Thomas is the point with Bradley to his side. Jay Crowder out there with Jared Sullinger. And it's Bynum in the pivot spot, manning the middle.
You know, for the Pacers last season, with Paul George being out for most of the season, they knew it would be a struggle. They would go into lengthy dry spells that made it hard for them to keep pace in the Eastern.
That's you did. You made the shoot that.
Miss Paul George's all-around brilliance and his offense.
George dishes to Hill. Ellis with it. Now Thomas defending. Crowder with the steal. Bradley, no one around him. Cannot hit. And it's the Pacers taking it the other way. Ellis kicks to George. Yes, and it's Ellis picking up the assist. George has got the first 3 points of the night up on the board for Indiana. And there's the feed to Bynum. Bradley kicks to Bynum. And the rejection by Mahinmi.
That shit out of here, son.
And George, here we go. Just over a minute and a half played here in this one. Ellis against Bradley. 6 on the shot clock. And out of bounds. As
oh, that was some 2K shit right there. What the fuck?
That's a major mental mistake. I mean, there's no other way for me to decide it. He didn't know where he was on the court. That's a basic fundamental. You have to be alert to where you are.
Thomas, good.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
Outside, George. Passes it to Ellis. Dishes to Turner. Goes up from the top of the key. That doesn't fall either. He's missed his first 2 shots tonight.
They're 1 of 4 here to start, looking to get into a flow offensively.
And Hill has it in the corner. Back to Ellis. To the inside. Turner. And he goes in for the dunk.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
And guys, as much as Isaiah Thomas can help you on offense, at times he can hurt you on the defensive side. Immediately posted up by whomever he's guarding, you have to give help. And of course, that leaves your defense vulnerable, particularly on the weak side and controlling that defensive backboard.
Greg, you're talking about Isaiah Thomas before. Certainly his short stature limits him on Clark, the defensive side.
Yeah, but you know what? He doesn't rack up a ton of steals, given his instincts and quickness. I think he really focuses on making his impact at the offensive end.
Now Hill, after Isaiah Thomas missed from long range. George double-teamed. Mahinmi passes to Turner. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's on Andrew Bynum. The Boston Celtics figure to be near the bottom of the league.
I'm at home. I'm at home, son.
And by no means were they a contender at any point, but they very well could be ahead of themselves in terms of the rebuilding process.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Mahinmi. C.J. Miles comes in for George. Rodney Stuckey's checked in for Ellis. Young is subbed in for Hill. The Celtics working the ball around now. And Young kicks to Smart. Gets the 3-pointer to fall. Smart's got himself on the board with 3 there.
And with the Celtics being a surprise threat near the end of last season, Even their losses were close games.
Stolen. On up the court. And Nick Young with the slam.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Shot clock at 5. And here's Miles outside. That drops.
To back up your point about the Celtics being in close games, I mean, their point differential on the year was less than where you would expect it to be for a team that made the playoffs. I mean, it really gives you an idea of how many close games they played.
Glenn Robinson, the third, is checked in for Indiana. Celtics also with a sub. Mickey's checked in for Young. There's the screen. And the basket by Rozier.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Now, here is Young. The dish out to Miles. Stuckey into the lane. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Pretty passing. Timely recognition as to where the open man was.
Pass to Mickey. He kicks it to Urebko. To the left side wing. Here's Mickey.
I'm in the game too.
Robinson. Feeds it to Urebko. No good on the triple. Indiana's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. Finished off the break. Miles has got 5 now.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control. You know, there are a lot of bigger power forwards than him in the NBA, but very few that rise up like he can.
Pick up by Hill. Young with no one around. And a miss there on the triple. It's a tie. Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Pacers?
They've won the effort battle, and that's allowed them to control the backboard.
And it's been gang rebounding. I mean, everybody has done a great job boxing out for him, and it's showing up on the stat sheet.
On the floor for Boston. Isaiah Thomas out there with Jordan Crawford. Then it's Julius Randle. Then it's Jared Sullinger. And it's Crowder in it, the 3.
Great job to hit his teammate on that move, Kevin.
You know, I can think of one way to describe George Hill. It's the culmination of several attributes. I mean, he comes from the school of Popovich, plays under control, always in the right place defensively. The way I describe him is just steady.
Thomas kicks to Randle. Crowder. No good from outside.
Well, they're fortunate. The defense was taking a big chance leaving him that wide open behind the arc.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Pacers.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
And the other thing that's been equally as effective is the fact that they've gotten out on the fast break. A lot of points coming in transition.
So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game. Well, the Pacers, despite all their